All right, guys, let's go ahead and get right back into this again after that last trailer. Now, I'm pretty sure every single last one of you were spoiled due to the very, very tragic nature of people when they come across unreleased information. A lot of people that I expected to not to do this, whatever. I guess it's already happened. I can't be whatever. Again, I expected better. I expected more people to, try to keep the integrity of letting them do their own thing, especially after the whole General Tao and the producer guy. I don't think he meant too much wrong by it. I think he was kind of just again trying to give off the Tenkaichi feeling of it's super broad and it captures everything. You can go from said character from this saga and have him fight someone from blah blah. That's I think that was his point was. But yeah. Well, not only did that the name drop, I should say, not prove to be true, but kind of doesn't really too much. Well, I won't say too much. There's some key characters missing. Uh, I guess I should just go ahead and get to my problem. Uh, there was a point in the trailer where they said the most important feature for the Tenkaichi series was the amount of characters, and they pushed real hard to go beyond the last installation's character limit. And I think that's where the problem lies. To me personally, what made the game so great was not only that every character from every previous entry was brought over, regardless of not if they were changed or, uh, removed from their existing characters. Like, I guess, Ultimate Gohan was a transformation in 2, but in 3, he was kind of like just a standalone character. Kind of like how Cell is, Super Perk Cell is in this game, which I don't mind. I mean, I kind of rather Cell be a transformation, but, if they want to do that, then that's fine. Because it kind of even makes sense, too, saying that Cell couldn't willingly just do that, I mean, he could blow up and come back, but it's not like that's just a transformation for him, to be honest. Um, the thing about missing some of these characters is we got some of the and again the spoiler because I was spoiled too. The most hype character I saw was Frieza Soldier, simply because everybody knows Frieza Soldier has no significance. You could literally get rid of him from the plot of the story, I mean, and that doesn't really change much. You don't need Frieza Soldier to, you know, warrant respect from Frieza or anything. You don't need like Grandpa Gohan and stuff like that to understand that, oh, Roshi's super strong, Piccolo's super strong, Red Ribbon Army is pretty bad. You don't need them for that. But that's what, broadened and encapsulated the entire Dragon Ball universe, right? You had those insignificant people that weren't really all that. What was Chi Chi? Well, if you take Kid Chi Chi out of the picture, does she actually, affect the plot line much? Not really. You take Grandpa, well, he died, but if you were to implement him anywhere in the story after, would he have really done much to help? No, he wouldn't have really changed much. So it's missing out on those characters that weren't significant to the plot, that were kind of just they were there somewhere, but not really significant, made it feel more like the entire universe of Dragon Ball was grasped, like everything, like almost all the aspects. And I understand there wasn't that many extra, like King Vegeta as well. Like we never see him And we don't even need to hear about him. Really, all we need to know about is Vegeta. The only thing King Vegeta really gave us was Vegeta's a prince and his family died to Frieza. That gives him a bit of a, I guess, drive to beat Frieza. But we don't see him fight, and we don't need to see him fight. But the fact that we do gives us the feel of, well, man, I really am enjoying playing as a as Dragon Ball. We are Dragon Ball. That's what we are right now. This is what the game felt like. Like, we are Dragon Ball. This is Dragon Ball. All of it. You had like Fasha, you had Devilman, Nam, like it makes you feel like you're truly playing all of Dragon Ball. And that's why having more characters, it obviously having more characters would be better for any sequel or any next installment in a series, especially Tenkaichi, because not only were characters brought from the last installments, but they also added more characters on top of that. And it's like, with that being 3 games strong, well, I guess 2 technically games strong. Get out of here. It just, it feels like something's missing, man. Like, yeah, we got Frieza Soldier and we got like Spopovich, and not saying Spopovich wasn't too important because we needed him to really give us the nefarious plot of Babidi, I guess, kind of, but I guess you could go high, Yajirobe, and I guess that's like 2 kind of well, Frieza Soldier really is super important to me here, but Yajirobe kind of had some impact, and uh, so too Spopovich, I guess, kind of. I think Yajirobe is more significant, maybe. Anyway, let's shut up and continue so I can get this over with. Final Roster looks great. Never gonna knock the gameplay. Not gonna knock the gameplay. I just feel like I'm looking at a revived Shell. More characters would have been fine. It's always gonna be more characters, especially if you adding Super on top of what everything is. But losing out on characters hurts. It hurts a lot. No Dragon Ball. We got no Piccolo, no Tambourine. I mean, no Tao, no Blue, no Pilaf. All the Saiyans lost their grade 8 forms besides Vegeta. And again, that's also what helped build that feeling of capturing all of Dragon Ball in its entirety, because you never see Saiyans like Nappa or Raditz turn into grade 8s. But the thing is, they can. And just because it wasn't part of the plot doesn't mean they can't do it, So that's what made it feel like we're like deeply entrenched in the Dragon Ball universe, like completely a part of it. But I guess, seeing the movie characters, I'm glad that they made it. Also, I guess another problem would be missing characters like Super 17. That's kind of hard to swallow, regardless of whatever. Like, missing all of Dragon Ball is just like even worse. But if you brought GT, I feel like Super 17 is kind of like what this game was almost doing. Like, not saying it's not just plot fights only, but he held major significance and had super expectancy to be in the game. How does he not make the game? I don't see how that works, but I guess stop. I guess maybe development time. No, I'm not gonna even say that because they're developing DLC alongside the game. That's also what makes this it irks me more, because have you ever ordered a 10-piece nugget meal from McDonald's, paid the full price, and then they tell you got to pay for the fries again. Like, weren't you making the fries with the meal? Why do I have to pay for the fries after paying for the meal? This is the full meal. You're making me pay the full price of the meal. Now I have to pay for fries too? Aren't they included in the meal? You made them with the meal, right? You made them for the meal. How are you doing that? Ah, uh, it just hurts. After counting all the characters too, I got a total of 110, including Daima Goku, because I also counted Super Perfect Cell separate, which is not bad considering that's what 14 more characters than Tenkaichi 3. Because a lot of these transformations are transformations, so I don't want to count them as separate characters. Just kind of ridiculous. But if you were to take everyone and simplify all of their forms into one character, which is technically what you're going to be doing anyway, because once you go to that character select screen, if you pick 1v1 or 3v3, you're going to have technically, quote unquote, 4 characters if you pick Goku or End, or again 3v3, you get End Goku, Super Goku, and Vegeta. That's like almost 10 or something, right? So it's kind of crazy to count transformations, if you ask me, as characters. Well, and again, eras are fine. I don't care about eras. Eras that make sense. N Goku, Z Goku, Z Goku, early Goku, mid Goku, Super Goku, they all deserve it. But transformations from those specific eras being counted as characters is like that feels like a character push to me, and it's just a numbers push, I should say. But yeah, missing out on all the Dragon Ball characters, some characters that we don't get from like Super 17. I don't know about that. That's just it's weird. Like it feels like now GT feels kind of incomplete, while you're also developing DLC on the side with it. It hurts. It feels like, not saying like it's not just bullshit. The game clearly is great. It looks good at least, and it does have an expansive roster, I guess. But it kind of lost its soul when you lose aspects of the game that were throughout all of them. I don't want to make this too much longer, so I guess I should stop. Yeah, that's about it for me. Still gonna get the game. I was hoping when this trailer dropped, we'd get more characters than what we got exposed to in the leaks. But whatever what it is, I guess now we're just gonna have to pay for Dragon Ball. Gonna have to pay for King Vegeta. Gonna have to pay for Grade 8 forms. The things that really mattered to the Tenkaichi series was the encapsulation of Dragon Ball's universe. But I guess that wasn't really the case. Man, I'm getting a lot of notifications and stuff. YouTube videos. I want this to be a clean video because I'm shooting this on my phone. We'll take that L. Game is gonna be pretty good. It doesn't have that sheer upgrade feel as the previous titles did to one another, but I guess, not saying this game isn't going to be upgraded graphics wise or maybe gameplay wise. I don't know what the gameplay is going to be like for myself personally until I play it, but it looks pretty good. Again, still have my issues with some of that. I don't want to have to go over that again. Honestly, I wish they go back and kind of check some of these models too, but I don't know if they're going to do that because Grade 8 Baby looks like 50 times better than Grade 8 Vegeta. I don't know, something about his face just off. Grade 8 Baby just looks like it reminds me of how Tenkaichi 3 looks, so perfect and like I don't know, it was like super good looking, like, and translated really well. I don't know. Yeah, let's just go. Uh, if you watched, you have anything to say to me, go ahead. I'm glad Frost made it. I wish he had his forms, other forms, you know. And that also is something that bothers me too. Is some of these characters like Trunks getting only one form. Black Art Trunks, I'm talking about. Like he has one form, and it's a pseudo. Like it's like a control rage, but not control rage. It looks like just Super Saiyan. But then they gave him regular rage power because his hair is different. And think you get what I'm saying. Like that kind of bothers me. And who else was I talking about? Yeah, Frost missing forms. Caulifla missing forms. Even if you only gave her like Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2, that's fine. It looks like Kale only has like Super Saiyan 1 or 2. I don't know what she has. But it's like only having one form is kind of what the fuck? How do you skip Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2, I guess? And it's not like, she didn't use those forms. She always used Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2, right? Because she went from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 2 against Goku. Shit, when she broke past her limit of grade 3, which, it, you hate to see it, man. Game's still going to be good, not going to knock the game or that. Uh, I'm like talking in circles, aren't I? I guess my last thing is like just what I would the characters that Tenkaichi 3 introduced being missing. There's also characters that I expected this game to introduce that I feel like are missing, and by that I mean like you would expect since they're going over a new arc, which is super. These are expected characters that I expected to see, like Champa and Vados. We don't get them. Uh, Bergamo's crew. I mean, you put Bergamo in the game, I would expect to see Bergamo. Speaking of, oh my god, I didn't even go over that. But he didn't get his giant form either, which would have gave him some more, more Dragon Ball universe building right there. uh, but Supreme Kai also not making it to the game. And he has a model. That really hurts. Like, that's crazy. How do you remove Supreme Kai but then give him a model in the game? That feels like it feels like I don't want to call this a namesake game, but that's what it makes it feel like. Like they're only like really going after this game because they know it's gonna make money. And I'm not saying they didn't put effort into it, but like you have a model for Supreme Kai and he's been in the last 2 installments and you don't put him in the game, he's not playable. But to be honest, a lot of this seemed kind of there's a couple things that made me feel like it was kind of rushed. One being Broly. It's the only Z movie character that seemingly was a part of the original 164, quote unquote. Uh, and everyone else being on the side, even like Frieza Soldier was on the side. I don't know why. And Garlic Jr. not having his other form and Super 17 being missing. It feels like kind of the local multiplayer ordeal where they originally weren't even planning on putting them in a game, or putting that in a game rather. So these characters as well weren't going to be in the game until they probably thought, what did they really like? I noticed they really wanted local. So what is it that maybe there's something we're missing? We need more characters, man. More, man. More is better. And not saying more isn't better, but it's the choices, Super, you kind of had to add a lot of characters for Super because it's like, there's a lot that went down, and it'd be hard to Super 17 some of these characters, It sucks that some of them did get Super 17, like Supreme Kai, and, Basil, and, Magetta, because, again, Magetta and Batama weren't really all that. Remove them, it doesn't really change much. You're really focused on hit, to be honest. But Kaba and hit really. But that gives you more Dragon Ball, man. That's more of a encapsulation of all of the universe. And I don't mean like Universe 7. I just mean like Dragon Ball as a whole, you know. But this shit's set 20 minutes. I should redo this, but I'm not gonna do it. You know, if you want to argue with me, argue with me. If you want to, nobody watches my videos. Whatever, you guys. Hopefully, we get the game and you like it. I'm gonna like it still, regardless. I'm gonna be a little hurt, you know. It's a little, again, bittersweet, but hey, what can you do, man? That's how games these days are. You know, can't expect the golden age treatment. You know, that's it.